I love Willow Nightingale. I love Willow Nightingale.
I'ma make it burn. 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 I'ma make it burn.
So you might be wondering, just what in the hell do I think I am doing here on YouTube? Fear not, my friends, because my podcast is not going anywhere. I'm simply, what's the word? Expanding it. That's the word we're going to use. I'm expanding my podcast to include YouTube. For those of you who don't know, hi, what up? My name is Jordan McClain, and I have a podcast. It's called The Following Podcast is Scheduled for One Fall, and you can find it on any and all podcast streams. Girl, I'm on Spotify, I'm on Anchor, I'm on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. Just about anywhere you can get your podcast, you will find my podcast. If you want to, go follow that podcast feed, because I talk about wrestling every single week. Every single Sunday, a new episode comes out. Today, we're going to talk about Enjoy Wrestling. The first episode of their season is now available on YouTube for free. I'm going to put that link down in the description. It's entitled Enjoy Canned Heat. It's a new promotion out of Pennsylvania. So let's go ahead and talk about Canned Heat, girl. So right out of the box, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. The cinematography of Canned Heat is absolutely beautiful. Visually, this show was stunning. The lighting and the camera work, all of it was so beautiful. It was so crisp. It was sexy, if you will. It was very much late night HBO when I was a child kind of sexy. It just gave me like a late night wrestling vibe, which is really funny because the show actually took place in a renovated church. So for me to say that about that, I don't know. Another overall thing that I liked was that they packed this show, and they packed a lot into this show in less than 30 minutes. We have gotten so used to 3-4 hour shows in modern day wrestling. Weekly TV shows are minimum 2 hours tops. I've seen 3, maybe I've watched a 3.5 hour show, something like that. So it was just good to see a show be kind of bite-sized, if you will, but still have a lot of character and have a lot of movement in the show. I really, really enjoyed that. I ain't got to re-up on snacks. I ain't got to take no bathroom break. I can sit here, I can sit my behind down and watch my wrestling. That's exactly what I want out of my shows. Big kudos to Enjoy Wrestling for having the show be as bite-sized as it was and still being a fantastic production. One final note. Rich Bocchini and Effie on commentary is a duo that I did not know I needed. Effie's really good. Effie's good at everything. Effie is like the grand wizard of pro wrestling. He's good at every damn thing. So first up, we've got Sean Phoenix taking on Mr. Grimm. This was the first time that I've seen these two in action, although it is not the first time that I have heard about them. So I was pretty excited to see this matchup and see what these two had to offer. If you have never listened to my podcast, the next statement I'm about to make may not make any sense to you, but it is actually the perfect statement for Mr. Grimm. If you have listened, you know what's coming. Big motherfuckers doing big motherfucking shit. For those who don't know, I love when bigger wrestlers get in the ring and just do big shit, when they just throw people around. So many heavyweights and super heavyweights do lightweight and cruiserweight shit now, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. I actually enjoy some of it, but I also enjoy when big motherfuckers do big motherfucking shit. I enjoy when people just get in the ring and toss people and run into people and make people fall. I just enjoy shit like that. I actually tweeted right before he done it, I actually tweeted that Mr. Grimm looked like somebody who can just toss people through a wall. And maybe 10 seconds later, he did a big bill toss to Sean Phoenix. That's what I like. I like stuff like that, man. It did not all go in Mr. Grimm's favor, though. Sean Phoenix actually used some very smart wrestling by using his speed and his striking to try and counteract and take out some of what Mr. Grimm had going on. He used what he had as an advantage instead of trying to match up with Mr. Grimm. And I really enjoy when wrestlers play the smart game like that, when they don't try to match the strength of their opponent if they know that they can't. You know, they try to use other means to take wrestlers out. It's a very smart bit of wrestling from Sean Phoenix. There was a beautiful spot in this match when Mr. Grimm went for a powerbomb and Sean Phoenix countered it into something like an X Factor. It was beautiful because it was one fluid, seamless motion. There was no hesitation in it. There were a lot of moments in this match like that were really, really beautiful. There was a moment where Mr. Grimm hit Sean Phoenix and Sean Phoenix just kind of spiked onto the mat. It was beautiful. I loved watching these two work together. They worked together really, really well. Unfortunately, Sean Phoenix did not do enough. The big man, Mr. Grimm, got the win in this matchup and moves forward in the Enjoy Wrestling Cup tournament. Our second match of the show is Willow Nightingale taking on MV Young. I got to get something off my chest right now. I have to get some things off my chest right now. I love Willow Nightingale. I love Willow Nightingale. MV is about to fuck Yins up. Come on now. Come on, somebody. Hey. I love these two. I'm a lot more familiar with Willow than I am with MV Young. I've just kind of, in the last couple months, kind of got on the MV Young train and figured out just who MV Young is. But I'm glad that I got to see him, and I'm glad that I'm seeing him here. MV Young is really a superstar. He really, really is. MV Young is a freaking superstar. I really loved the back and forth in this matchup. Each performer had their moments, and the other performer did a fantastic job of selling that performer's moments. I also really, really dug the storytelling of MV Young not really wanting to go as hard on Willow, and Willow kind of testing him and making him step up and making him fight her. I love that kind of story, especially when you're doing mixed gender matches, because we all know Willow's a fucking beast anyway. Once we got that chop party popping off, you could see both of them really step their games up in this match and really be like, okay, it's go time. And I love to watch wrestlers when they're in their match kind of shift into that second gear and really go for it and put on the match that they know they can put on. I like to see. You love to see it. Fired Up Willow Nightingale is actually my favorite version of Willow Nightingale. Do you hear me? I love when that woman kicks it into second gear and then pulls out shit like the pounce. She pulled out a pounce on MV Young in this match. Come on, Willow. Continue, Willow. Come on, Queen. MV Young picked up the win in this match after a nasty knee to the back of Willow's head, and that is all she wrote for Enjoy Canned Heat, kids. So overall thoughts, it was an absolutely awesome show. I really loved the production and the cinematography. Everything just worked. I really loved that it wasn't super chaotic, but even I think the show came in at 24, 25 minutes. They still gave you a lot. They gave you interviews. They gave you two absolutely awesome matches. So it felt like a full show without having to be 3 hours worth of content. I love that the most because of the replayability. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel daunting to go back and watch this show. I watched it premiere last night, and then I watched it again this morning. I'm taping this the morning after. You know, this kind of show, you can watch it a few times and still just not get bored, especially when the content, when the matches are this damn good. So if you want to check the show out, again, the show is linked down in the description below. Be sure to go follow them, subscribe to their channel so you can watch this amazing wrestling. I'm probably going to end up talking about them every week, honestly, because I really love what they stand for. From what I've seen, I love the production value. I love what they're doing. I'm probably going to end up talking about them every single week on the channel. So make sure you subscribe to my channel as well to hear my thoughts on Enjoy Wrestling. If you have a show that you would like for me to talk about or review or anything of the sort, be sure to follow me on my social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Jordan McClain. Send me some links. Tag some people, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm always down to watch and talk about wrestling. That's all I got for you guys today. Again, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. My name is Jordan McClain. This has been an extension of the following podcast schedule for one fall, and I am out. Bye, guys.